Our connections make powerful things happen, uniting individuals and communities. We are Rotary. We are people of action. And together, we turn great ideas into reality by accessing our networks, our experience, and the best of ourselves to make a difference. Around the world, Rotary brings leaders together to build new friendships and to solve problems. Like in Austria, where generations work side by side to come up with innovative ways to build sustainable housing and community centers, everyone learning from each other. In India, volunteers run a mobile blood bank to help provide a steady blood supply for their local community. And in Taiwan, people are working hard to get vulnerable citizens the support and services they need. With over 1 million members, we know what people can do when they come together. In your backyard and around the world, there's power in our connections. Take action with us. Find out more at Rotary.org.
Good evening to all watching this live panel discussion. I am Ching Kwock Wing from the Rotary EClub of 3310. I was club president for the term 2015-2016 and 2016-2017. It is indeed a great honor to be the host of this evening's live panel discussion. The topic of discussion is a hot topic in the Rotary family today, which is working together with Rotaractors. Rotary is built on connections. Rotary International provides a way to connect to our communities, to network professionally, and to build strong and lasting relationships. Our membership connects us to a global community through our countless projects and programs. Our service connects us to people who share our values, who want to take action for a better world. It connects us to people we would never otherwise meet, who are more like us than we could have imagined. And it connects us to people who need our help, allowing us to change lives in communities around the world. Now, for those watching this live panel discussion who is not familiar with Rotary, you may want to know that the Rotary has a youth movement. And thus, in the Rotary family, we have young people doing similar kind of projects as the older Rotarians. And we call them the Rotaractors. Rotaract originally began as the Rotary International Youth Program in 1968 at Charlotte North Rotary Club in Charlotte, USA. It was more than 50 years ago, and today there are 250,000 Rotaractors compared to 1.2 million Rotarians worldwide. This year, at midnight on June 30th, 2020, Rotaractors the world over rang in the new Rotary year and celebrated an ongoing evolution. Rotaract is now a type of Rotary membership. Rotary clubs will be allowed to sponsor Rotaract clubs or establish themselves without a sponsor. Rotaract will be open to all young adults 18 and over. There will no longer be an upper age limit of 30. Rotaractors are now eligible to serve on district level and Rotary International committees. Rotaractors will enjoy greater support, training, and access to tools from Rotary. And of course, Rotary clubs should continue to work with Rotaractors at meetings and events as well as on service projects. In light of these decisions made by the Rotary's Council on Legislation in 2019, the relationship between Rotaract and Rotary must change as part of an ongoing effort to make Rotary more appealing and welcoming to young professionals. In this evening, we have a wonderful panel consisting of a senior Rotarian, a young Rotaractor turned Rotarian who still maintains her Rotaract membership, and a very young Rotaractor who just graduated from university. And together, we will talk about this monumental change in the over 100 years history of Rotary and how this change is going to impact Rotary with regard to the connections we built with each other, that is, Rotary and Rotaract, and with the world we both serve. Now, let me first introduce the senior Rotarian. He is past District Governor Henry Tan. PDG Henry Tan was District 3310 Governor 2018-2019. Henry joined the Rotary Club of Singapore West in 1987 and was its club president 1994-1995. In 2014, he was recognized as Outstanding Assistant Governor. Henry holds an MBA degree from the University of Strathclyde in Glasgow, Scotland. He founded Alpha Health Asia, a group of companies in medical supplies, and is its managing director. He was president of the Association of Medical Device Industry Singapore since 2012. Henry was awarded the Public Service Medal PBM by the President of the Republic of Singapore, and he received a Singapore National Day Award. PDG Henry, would you like to say hello to our audience out there?
Good evening, everyone. And first, I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to attend this forum with you. And I'd like to share as much as I feel passionate about our opportunity to work with the Rotaractors.
Thank you, PDG Henry. Now, I will introduce the young Rotaractor who turned a Rotarian in 2020 by setting up a Rotary Club herself. And she is Elyse Lin Chun. Elyse served as the co-chair of Rotary International Rotaract Committee, as well as a member of Elevate Rotaract Task Force in 2019-2020. Elyse was the chartered president of Rotaract Club of Taipei Tin Harbor in District 3840, Taiwan. Elyse served in several district leadership roles and was elected as the district Rotaract representative for the term 2016-2017. She was the host organizing committee chair of Interrota 2017 and the Rotaract moderator of International Assembly 2019. In 2020, she chartered Rotary Club of Taipei Daylight with 25 other young professionals. Elyse graduated from National Taiwan University with a major in life science. She did her internship in Singapore and now works with an e-commerce solutions company in Taiwan. Elyse, would you like to say hello to our audience out there?
Hi everyone, I'm Elyse from Taiwan, and thank you very much for having me here tonight. And I'm very happy to be here and share more about working together with Rotarians and Rotaractors. Thank you.
All right, now let me introduce our very young Rotaractor from our very own District 3310, and she is Chew Tai Wen. At 21, Tai Wen became a Rotaractor soon after she volunteered in a community service project at a local hospital that was organized by the Rotaract Club of National University of Singapore, where she was an undergraduate. Then she became the president of Rotaract Club of National University of Singapore in 2018 and district community service chair in 2019 and the district Rotaract representative for the current term. 2020-2021. In her home club, Rotaract Club in Singapore West, she is the Community Service Chair. Graduated recently with a bachelor degree in psychology, Tai Wen is now working in the disability support and community engagement sector on campus. Tai Wen, would you like to say hello to our audience out there?
Yeah, sure. So good evening all. Yeah, I hope you all enjoyed today's session. And I'm very happy to be here and hope that you all can benefit from today's sharing. Thank you.
Thank you, Tai Wen. Now, let's get on with this evening's live panel discussion. I would like to direct the first question for this evening to PDG Henry. Henry, as the chair to the Rotaract Task Force in District 3310, would you like to talk about the response from the Rotaract clubs in our district to the change in the sponsorship requirements? As we know, from now on, Rotary clubs do not need to sponsor a Rotaract club for it to continue, and new Rotaract clubs do not need a Rotary club to be formed. So what are the responses from our Rotary clubs?
Let me just share a little report. According to the Stanford University, there was a report about interrelationship of the young and old in society. As a matter of fact, it said interrelationship of young and old are important to society because they can help to ensure vibrant youth to receive the kind of attention and mentoring that they often lack, especially most vulnerable population. The Stanford scholar also said that this relationship offers older adults opportunities to learn about new technology, trends, experience, and the excitement of seeing the world through a younger perspective. The report pointed out that the old people, like our senior Rotarians, can actually benefit as well, experiencing emotionally satisfaction in relationship with the young. Now, one way to achieve such contact is through voluntary service. Therefore, Rotary is a voluntary service organization. The benefits which is associated to everybody's well-being and also a possible cognitive performance for aging people. So, from a societal point of view, interactions are very positive. In the perspective of new era of now Rotaract is now a member of Rotary. And I'm personally very happy because it provides the maturity for Rotaractors. And I'm very, very pleased to say that today Rotaract are now offered by Rotary to exercise their maturity to also to demonstrate their youthfulness and vibrancy to serve together with Rotarians in their community. Therefore, I think that Rotaract and Rotary have common shared values. Fellowship and service is a synergy that we can expect. 1 + 1 makes 3. For me, I think it's a new era that Rotarians and Rotaract working hand in hand in partnership. Now the Rotaracts can be stronger because it's within their power and also the greater involvement in the role of service. It is what makes Rotaracts to be standing on their own to achieve greater satisfaction in life. The task force role, because our mission is to try and develop a sustainable platform and a work on programs that will encourage Rotary and Rotaract gamefully in partnership. Because this partnership will enable our community, our beliefs in service and fellowship to enhance the world a better place. So, truly, standing together in partnership is the key to the future of Rotary. And that's how I see that Rotarians and Rotary will be working hand in hand and at the same time help and work with the Rotaract to a better future. Thank you.
Thank you, PDG Henry, for that insightful observation. Now let me ask Tai Wen. Tai Wen, you are the district representative of the Rotaractors in District 3310. So would you like to talk about the response of the Rotaract clubs in District 3310 to being elevated to equal partners to Rotary clubs?
Yeah, I think first of all, I feel that, this year is indeed a very special year. In the first half, we have to adapt to the pandemic. And then in the second half, we have the changes in the Rotaract policy. So I would say that Rotaract this year, they do have to do a lot of shifting of mindset, strategies, and more so they actually emerge as more resilient and more innovative individuals. And the good thing about this elevation is that, now Rotaractors know that, RI actually recognizes the unique value that Rotaract brings to the organization. And now we are treated equally as people of action. So we can see that there's a lot of opportunities with this elevation. And it's also very wonderful that we're now able to receive more direct support and resources to actually bring Rotaract forward and further grow. So now, we are now in August. It's actually the second month of the Rotary year and the second month where these policies are being implemented. So a lot of the Rotaractors, they are aware of these different changes. But that being said, I think they need more time, to fully embrace the new reality ahead. But from what I see in the first 2 months is that definitely we can see that there's a greater sense of ownership in the leaders of Rotaract. They start to see that, they have more flexibility in terms of managing their club operations. And they also start to do a lot more ideation and innovative ideas, creating opportunities during this time. And clubs in general are more empowered to do more for their own clubs, for their own Rotaractors. Overall, they are just more involved in the planning for Rotary and Rotaract collaborations. And I find that very heartening. Yes, and also the change and the policy about how there's a transition from Rotary clubs being sponsors to partners. Actually, this encourages more Rotaract clubs to establish more conversations and partnerships with the Rotarians. It actually, creates an opportunity to break the ice between Rotary as well as Rotaract during this constant time, and this actually bridge Rotary and Rotaract more than ever. Of course, there will definitely be some concerns, especially with regards to the annual dues that Rotaractors they have to pay in 2022. I think the good thing is that now we actually have a buffer time of 2 years to work on it. And we also have this time to work closely with the clubs and hear from them what are their concerns and to give them the relevant support. And task force, our collaboration with the Rotary is also, we are working very closely in the task force to come up with the different support that we can provide to the Rotaractors. But I think all in all, within every challenge is perhaps a greater, opportunity. We don't know what will actually happen in the future, but I believe we are all in this together, and that Rotary will be there to offer their support and guidance along the way. Yeah.
Thank you, Tai Wen. I think it is very encouraging from both sides of aisle, so to say. Now let me ask Elyse, as a Rotaractor who chartered a Rotary Club in Taiwan, would you like to talk about your motivation to do so, and if the recent change has any influence in your decision to do that?
Yeah, sure. I think I need to go back to the very beginning of my journey with Rotary. I actually joined Rotary because I wanted to continue doing service after graduation from college. Because after graduating from college, what we do is that like finding a new job and then like a 9 to 5 daily job. But I felt like I still want that kind of satisfaction when I help people, when I was in a service club, helping people, that kind of satisfaction. That's why I joined and chartered a Rotary Club, Taipei Team Harbor. I thought I was joining a club doing community service, but after a while, after I joined the club for a while, I heard that there's an annual convention, Rotary International Convention, and in that year it was held in Australia. And then I thought, yeah, why not? I should definitely fly to Australia and kind of experience this kind of annual convention. So I flew to Australia, and I thought I was joining a club, but no, I just realized that it's not just a club. It's a very, very huge global network. So I would say my personal motivation to charter a Rotary Club is really the people that I have met these past few years in Rotary. Through Rotary, I got to meet awesome people who share the same values from around the world, and I got to learn from them. And because of these experiences that I decided that one day I will become a Rotarian, because I want to stay in this community, in this global network, so that I can keep learning from these people, not just from my own country, but also some Rotary friends from around the world. And so I knew that one day I would become a Rotarian, but I didn't know what exactly is the time that I will become a Rotarian. So it was really because the amazing opportunity working with the Rotary senior leaders, including the president-elect at that time, Mark Maloney, the moderator at that time, Holger, and also Jennifer Jones, and also the great team for the 2019 International Assembly, that I decided to take action and really charter a Rotary Club. I remember that during the preparation meeting for the International Assembly at that time, they really take my opinion as a road actor seriously. And I felt very, very touched and very inspired that I want to become a Rotarian just like them one day. So the close partnership between the Rotarians and myself during that time really motivated me to start a club. And I would say that the recent change definitely has an influence. I was a little bit hesitant that whether I should start a club by myself, because I remember a few years ago, the atmosphere is still very conservative. Like the Rotarians would not listen to what road actors really cares and what we think. But I feel like the culture and the atmosphere is a little bit different and it's changing. During these past few years, people start to talk about like whether we should have more partnership with the Rotaractors. The Rotarians and road actors should work together and bridge together. And this kind of changes also motivate me to take action and start the Rotary Club. So yes, the recent change definitely has an influence.
Yeah, so the engagement with the Rotaractor actually prompt them to, or help them to make the decision to become a Rotarian. Let us move to another angle. From 2022 actually, Rotaractors will pay annual due per capita of either $5 or $8, depending whether it's the university-based club or a community-based club. Rotaract will be open to all young adults 18 and over, and there will no longer be an upper age limit of 30. So now let me ask PDG Henry, would you like to talk about the next steps District 3310 can or will take to incorporate these changes?
If you look at the economic perspective of this new subscription that is being implemented by Rotary International and only taking effect in a couple of years' time, this actually, in my opinion, provides a very good timeline to allow Rotaract and Rotarians, especially those who are sponsoring the community-based and the institutional-based clubs, to understand some of the mutual challenges. And I'm personally very supportive of the Rotary International initiative of making only $8 for community-based and $5 for institutional-based. Really, just as one Rotarian has shared this with me, in today's cost of living anywhere within the world, you know, of $5 and $8 US dollars, it's actually a very, very insignificant amount that we can expect that the round of rewards that Rotary can benefit the Rotaractors itself. I think it's also important that Rotaract need to feel that they are also contributing and for their benefits, and there is a certain portion of a cost that will also gradually develop them to understand the importance that everything has its price or has its opportunity for us to take consideration. Therefore, I would expect, as the task force will run to try and initiate, to encourage that Rotaract and clubs that used to sponsor a Rotaract club to work and develop, this 2 years to have a much more conducive transition. And I personally would encourage that every Rotaract to eventually be committed, because this is very insignificant. The benefits of making a contribution as being member of the Rotary International, it is milestones of significant benefits that can be resulted from there. And that's how I would see that our various Rotary clubs and Rotaract clubs will work in the coming years.
Okay, let me ask Tai Wen. You are the district Rotaract representative. So what do you hear? What do you hear, or what have you been doing with the other Rotaractors in preparation for this change, to incorporate this change?
Hi, can you hear? All right, okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I think the very first thing that we should all do is to engage in very honest conversations with the Rotaractors and the Rotaract clubs. And it is very important to just hear from them without judgment, to hear what the challenges that they foresee to be coming, what will be some of the upcoming needs that they have, and to really just hear from them and empathize from their state, because they have their own context, they have their own concerns. So I think the first one is definitely to practice active listening without judgment. Secondly is definitely to guide them to see what they can actually gain, in return, in exchange for what they can, what they give. I think ultimately, actually Rotaractors, they are okay to give to pay the annual due if, let's say, they see the value of what they can gain in exchange for it. So what is very important is also for us to really break it down to them, what are the opportunities that they can receive, what are some of the resources that is given to them from Rotary and from Rotaract. So I think this conversations is very important. So secondly, on the district level itself, what we want to do is also to improve the quality of our programs so that we can further uplift and further upgrade the experience of them as a Rotaractor. And more than that is that we also want to, come out with more resources. It could be in, as a person, emotional support, as well as physical support, to actually provide them when they need it during the time when it comes. So the district team is actually working very closely with the Rotary, with Rotarians, in terms of providing this support for the Rotaractors. Yeah. So I think all in all, it's really about understanding what they want and us, giving the explanation and breaking out to them that, you can actually receive a lot of opportunities in return. And this is what, Rotary is giving you in exchange for the amount of money. Yeah. So it's all about, looking from it from an opportunity perspective. Yeah.
Thank you, Taiwan. As a matter of fact, the District 3310 has set up a forum between the Rotarians and the Rotaractors. And so there is a continuous dialogue between the two sides as to what we can do to embrace each other. Now, let me ask Elyse, you being both a Rotarian and a Rotaractor, can you tell us something about what is being done now in Taiwan, your district, about incorporate these changes?
Yeah, sure. First, I think at the district level, what we're doing currently is mainly about communications because this is a really huge change. And when people see changes, people always get panic. So there's a lot of different misunderstanding and interpretation of this kind of changes. So what we're working at the district level are mainly about communication, telling both Rotarians and Rotaractors why Rotary International are making such changes. It's not about making Rotarians very similar as Rotaractors. We keep telling people these two different type of memberships still have their own characteristics. They're not meant to be. We're not doing this to minimize the difference between these two different membership type. So these are the communications that we're doing at the district level. But in the meantime, at the club level, we keep encouraging all the clubs to really collect the feedback from their club members. I would like to echo what Taiwan just said. After communication about why Rotary International are doing these changes, the most important is to know how the club members feel about the changes. Therefore, I would suggest that clubs to design survey and collect feedback from their club members, asking whether the per capita due is affordable, if they prefer to decide when to leave on their own decision rather than the age limit. Then the board in the club can really look at the feedback from their club members and make club bylaws and find solutions that suit their clubs the best. For example, if the club members are not willing to pay extra per capita dues, maybe the club can arrange a fundraising event to raise money for the per capita dues of all the club members. And if a club is worried that the removal of upper age limit will lead to an aging leadership team in the club, then they can set a bylaw to restrict that the leadership team should be in a certain age range. So there are many solutions to it, and it's all about flexibility.
Well, thank you very much, Elyse. Now let's change the topic a little bit, to goals. Today, there are 250,000 Rotaractors and 1.2 million Rotarians worldwide. So there is a ratio of about 1 to 4. Rotary International sets big goals for Rotary and Rotaract. And these goals are: 1, increase the number of Rotaractors reported to Rotary by 100% by 2022. 2, increase the number of reported Rotaractors who join Rotary clubs by 20% by 2022. Today, the number of Rotaractors who joined Rotary Club actually is a low 4%. Then number 3, increase the number of reported Rotaractors to 1 million by 2029. Now, let me ask PDG Henry, would you like to talk about how can Rotary be more relevant to our young adults and also more relevant to today's needs so that young Rotaractors want to join a Rotary Club or even form a Rotary Club? Remember, 1 million is a big number. There is the line is not good. We cannot hear PDG Henry.
Okay. Let me just recall back. I like to look at it this way, that the Rotaract and Rotarians, as we move on a journey in life, and to be successful in life is what each and every one of us aims to be and continue as part of our journey in life. For me, to make it relevant to a fellow Rotaractor, there are 3 things in me, in my mission. I always look at 3 factors. They are the 3F. They are the family, they are financial. In financial, we'll talk about our own career. We talk about how we need to have a set of personal skill to have a successful career to allow us to have good financial income. And the next important thing is friends. And this is what I would say the 3F are most relevant to Rotaract in a journey as Rotaractors and as also in Rotary. And for this reason, I say that partnership involving in Rotary is the natural best journey, best decision to make for every Rotaract. Because by being part of it, because we share a common shared values, and this is what most Rotarians are successful people believes. Rotary also provides opportunity for Rotaractors and also opportunity for us now to work in partnership, to sharpen their skill set, to do good for the community, and ultimately is what make us a better person, and being a better person will make us successful in life. The next most important F is friendship. Friendship in Rotary allows Rotaract to strengthen their journey in life, to also engage our own values of what we believe in fellowships and service. Therefore, if I may just quote, Steve Jobs says, "Great things in business never be done by one person. They can be done only by a team of people." A Japanese hero once said, he says, "Success cannot be attained alone. Any person's time and power is limited. A wise leader engages other people in working together to achieve that goal." So Rotaract involving with us in partnership can only provide the best solutions, the best opportunity to mold each and every one of us for better success and better happiness in life. Therefore, the lesson for this new era of partnership of Rotaract and Rotarians will provide a lot of avenues, a lot of opportunities for us to really get engaged and make the world a better place. So how can that be relevant? It is by continuing to be engaged in Rotary values. And that's what it is.
Thank you very much, PDG Henry. Let me now ask Tai Wen, would you like to talk about your expectations from the Rotarian to help you make that decision to join a Rotary Club or even form a Rotary Club like Elyse did?
Yeah, I think well, I think for me, right, I think I look out for two things. Okay, first is, what opportunities do Rotary can what opportunities do Rotary actually provide to others? That's one. And secondly is what opportunities do Rotary provide for me, myself. Well, you see, I think what makes Rotary unique, right, is the fact that the Rotarians, they love people. Rotary clubs comprises of people from different backgrounds, different age, different generations, and even language or cultures. And I think that's what I think that's very special. The fact that Rotary actually embraces diversity in the club itself. To me, that's a unique part of Rotary, and that's very special, and that's very, very heartening. So to me, that's the first attraction, the first attractiveness of Rotary. Secondly is what I see in terms of opportunities that Rotary can provide is that Rotarians, they don't only just donate the money, they themselves, they perform the act. They themselves are the people doing the service itself. And to me, that's unique, and they actually create more opportunities for others in two ways. First is that they, of course, it's a direct impact on the community, perhaps job opportunities, perhaps maybe a more uplifting of skill sets in the community. I mean, that's one side of the opportunity. The other opportunity is that, Rotarians themselves, they actually influence, youths and also other adults, to serve more in the community. So that's the opportunity that Rotary actually provides, to the people outside. And that's a second attractiveness that I see in Rotary. Yeah, I think the third one is definitely the the people, which I will link it to what is the opportunities for myself. If let's say, putting myself, I mean, through my perspective is that I feel that, joining Rotary, if let's say they are able to provide the friendship, the people that I value in my circle of network, if let's say my mission and if let's say my values are aligned with the mission and the vision of the Rotary Club, if let's say I enjoy doing and involving myself in the platforms of what Rotary clubs can actually provide, then to me that's the opportunities for myself. I feel that it's valuable to me. I see an opportunity for me to serve and to give back to the community. Yeah, so I think well, if let's say we are able to actually combine this, then I think, to be honest, joining a Rotary club is indeed attractive. But and again, aside from what we can gain is, of course, what we can contribute as well. And I think that explains why there's a lot of hesitation by the youth right now, is that, especially for those who have just graduated or those who are, young working adults, maybe they are hesitant in terms of what they can give back in terms of resources, in terms of time. But I think as long as you have the the heart, as long as you're willing to commit, and involve a certain part of yourself to the Rotary mission, then I would say just go ahead. If you, let's say, you can't find a club that is a good fit for yourself, then you can consider creating your own Rotary club. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tai Wen. And now, Elyse, you probably would be the first few Rotaractors who chartered Rotary Club, right? You probably make history in the Rotary family. So you are now able to see from both sides. So would you like to tell us what you see are the expectations from either side? How could you meet these big goals, right? 1 million Rotaractors, 20% transition rate. What are the expectations from either side?
Yeah, I would say it's really about the interaction. I'm a firm believer about interactions, because it's only when you connect with people that you can really inspire others and also get inspired by other people. So connections is really a big thing in Rotary, and this is a very precious resource, that opportunities that we can get from this Rotary family. And I would say that it's only when the Rotarians and Rotaractors work together that we can really experience that kind of synergy. Rotarians and Rotaractors each have their own advantages in knowledge, techniques, experience, resources, etc. Rotarians would need Rotaractors' creativity and innovation for project planning and execution, for social media management, and in the meantime, Rotaractors would need to learn from Rotarians, not just from their life, but also from their work experience, and sometimes financial support when there are larger scale projects. So it's really it really goes back to the questions like, why don't we just work together if the power combined can achieve even greater outcome?
Thank you, Elyse. Now, I like to throw this question to all the panelists. So anybody can try and answer this. And I think this is very, very common questions nowadays. All right. People start wondering or are confused about this relationship, Rotary, Rotaract, sponsorship, no sponsorship. Okay, for instance, since Rotaract clubs have become equal partner in action, then what about the previous sponsoring Rotary Club? Has it got any more responsibility or any link to such a Rotaract club? And previously, we used to support and mentor Rotaract clubs from the Rotary side, but now no need to do that anymore, and no need to provide financial support. Is that the understanding? Anyone would like to answer this one?
Let me just add this, you don't mind, Radin. let me put this little example. Let's assume that we are a little family had adopted a very young lad to be in a house with a group of your own family. You provided emotional and financial support to this kid. This kid now stands on and grow and become very good citizen. Now they've grown up to a mature age. They now can stand on alone to be on their own and take on their decision for their future. The obligations of this adoption, it's not legal, but at the same time, sometimes maybe even providing financial assistance, although it may not be necessary. But the emotional factor will still linger on or be probably preferred by both the Rotaract and the Rotarian, if I were to relate this as a seminal example. So you see, I would look at it that the Rotary will take Rotaract as now a grown-up young lad, able to stand on his own, that can stand to face legal challenges, financial challenges. But both of them are nurtured with a very similar values and culture, and they can work together. And that's how I would see that because of this synergy, it becomes 1 + 1 becomes 3. Therefore, it's a greater opportunity for Rotaract to also work hand in hand with partnership with Rotary, and likewise for the others. So it is financial consideration. It's something. It's like a big brother, who, or a smaller brother taking care of a challenge. But I don't see this as any problem, and I think that's how I would see this relationship will continue to work together, like an adopted child who has grown up to be part of the family.
Yes. And Elyse, you have something to add to that?
Yes, I would like to take this opportunity to clarify one thing. So we began this conversation in Rotary International about open up more sponsorship models for sponsoring clubs, because we noticed that in some parts of the world, when there are a group of young leaders, they wanted to start a Rotary club, but they didn't manage to find their sponsoring club and they couldn't start a Rotary club. That's why we open up the sponsorship model for those clubs who couldn't find a sponsoring club for them. But as a Rotary club, as a Rotaractor who has experienced mentorship from our sponsoring club, I would definitely still encourage Rotary clubs to have a sponsoring club if they can have a sponsoring club, because the mentorship and also the interactions between Rotarians and Rotaractors are benefit for each others.
Okay. And I guess from the Rotaract clubs, a lot of their concerns is this: without the sponsoring club, without a mentor, the Rotaract club might die. So what is your take on that, the panelists?
As I see it, I think otherwise. And I think the Rotaract, most Rotaract club, even community-based and or institution-based, I can see that they have very high regards for Rotarian. What is probably most important, as what has been shared by Elyse and Tai Wen, it's a lot of communication and engagement. Because though, like I said, as what we can see, take home from the Stanford studies, both young and old can benefit enormously from this relationship, because both comes with their strength. The elders, with their experience and success, maybe to some extent financially independent, that can provide that resource. But moving into the future, it's the Rotaract that has the youthfulness and the vibrancy, and more important, the innovation, the skill set that can actually add stronger values that will benefit both, and at the same time to the community. That's
Any other comments from the other two panelists? If not, I would raise one more question. Now, Rotaract service in partners in service, but in the future, equal partners doesn't mean that, in any joint project, the relationship is as if there are two Rotary clubs, or still there is this elder brother and a younger brother. Anyone? Elyse?
Well, I think it's a little culture thing, I think, because when we see Rotarians who are more senior, we definitely will see them as our big brother. But definitely the relationship will be different from before. We will see each other more as an equal partner, and the way we collaborate might be a little bit different. Like when we reach out to Rotarians, we're not just looking at the financial support, but we're looking at more in the real implementation, like action together. Yeah. So I can foresee that there will be some difference in our collaboration, different from before.
Okay, we are just about time to wrap up. So I would like to invite each of you to have your final say in 1 minute. Starting with PDG Henry.
Okay. What I hope to see is that this new era of Rotary and Rotaract, who are now members of Rotary International, take every effort to really get engaged in partnership with activities. We are fellow members of Rotary International. We can only be greater when we take opportunity to understand each other and be willing to adapt and face changes. Now, especially, I think the Rotarians, there is every opportunity to take our so-called ability and success that we have to share and mentor the Rotaract. But to the Rotaract, I think it's very important to communicate as much as possible to allow yourself be understood, so that your opportunity to allow the Rotarians, in partnership with our various activities, can only provide opportunity for growth, opportunity for getting the skill set stronger, hence a success in life. That's what
Thank
I
you
see.
very much,
Thank you.
PDG Henry. So, Tai Wen, what would you like to say? 1 minute.
Yeah, so I just want to say that, like what PDG Henry has mentioned, we all belong to the same family, and both Rotaractors and Rotarians, we have their own strengths, and that we have our own assets, and we tap on these strengths that each other have, and combine them through partnership to create something that's more magical, that's more effective, for the community at large. So I do believe that this partnership remains essential, and that we are very privileged to have always the guidance of Rotary, and now, even though we don't need to be established without a sponsor, but this partnership, the essence of it, right, still remains. And, there's a lot of opportunities that we still want to explore further with Rotary. And I hope that, all the Rotaractors who are watching this will know that, within all of these challenges, there will only be opportunities at the end of the tunnel. So stay optimistic. There's a lot of things, great things that are going to happen with our partnership moving
Thank
forward.
you very much, Tai Wen. And Elyse, what you would like to
Yes.
say?
Yes, I would say these changes are just the beginning, the very beginning, and this is an ongoing process. And there will definitely be a lot of discussions and conversations, communications going on. And during this time, those with the ability, flexibility to embrace the changes are those who are able to convert the changes to real opportunities. So flexibility is key.
Thank you very much, Elyse. Rotary and Rotaract will have collaborative commitment to serve the community as partners in the Rotary family. We will leverage on our strengths to serve with the Rotary ideals, objects, values, and vision. Both must communicate and get connected, and to share projects, they will work together. As PDG Henry said, it is like a big brother and a small brother relationship. The younger brother may need help from the elder brother, and the elder brother may need help from the younger brother. The Rotarians must change their mindset and work with many young and dynamic Rotaractors. And the Rotaract community is diverse, and the Rotarians need to work with them differently. All the Rotary clubs in the district will have to review their strategy and approach in this new partnership. We are, after all, partners in service in the Rotary family, serving the community, and that is the basis why we are all in Rotary. On that note, let us work together to create an even bigger impact to the world with this new partnership, and let us all enjoy the Rotary journey together. Good night.
Good night.